So that's what it looks like fully open. Beautiful.
17 years we've been in childcare, and we've noticed parents are more demanding and very protective over their children.
Hi Nek, thanks for inviting me to your Creativeplay Childcare Centre. Tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into childcare.
G'day Tass, welcome to everybody. I was in the corporate world for 26 years, and the corporate world was changing, and my sister was in childcare. She had a lot of strong knowledge and strong skills, and I thought I'd use those skill sets to run our own.
So Nek, tell us about this particular childcare centre in Doncaster. How did it come about?
Well, it started with our other childcare centre, which is in Bulleen, next to Heidi Park. We've been running that one for 17 years. We had an occupancy rate of 100% for 17 years straight. It's 120 kids a day there, and we thought it was time to expand in the area. So we decided something close by, and Doncaster was the spot we chose.
Excellent, and I noticed the building, it's fairly new and it's a modern design. Can you tell us a little bit about how it works functionally?
Yes, we've got numerous rooms downstairs and upstairs, which we can show you as we go along. This place is 148 place centre.
148 places, yep.
Correct, which is large-scale childcare centres. Anything over 100 is a large-scale childcare centre, and we're at 100% occupancy pretty much from
That's
day
pretty good.
one.
And what percentage of the occupants come out of the local postcode versus postcodes outside Doncaster?
Because of our relationship with the community over 17 years, we do get a little bit coming outside the postcode that come through the area on the way to the city for work. But we're talking probably about 80%.
About 80% are local. Great, excellent. This is where all the decisions are made, the boardroom?
Correct.
So Nek, this is your kitchen?
Correct. Kitchen is very important for our business. We think it's important that children eat well. If they eat well, they sleep well, and they behave well. So, yeah.
What are the favourite foods that the kids love?
We have 4 chefs. And,
Four?
Yeah, and they cook a lot of multicultural type foods. And so it varies. Some like pastas, some like the curries, others like the meat. But
Nice.
yeah, we cater for all cultures.
Nice, excellent. The retractable roof?
Yes.
What's the idea?
When you've got multi-storey buildings, we want to bring in light. So we brought a bit of the Etihad Stadium to our childcare centre.
Gotcha. Did you use the same architect? Or maybe a cheaper version?
Yeah, cheaper version.
Nice.
And,
It's a little bit like Rod Laver, isn't it?
it is. Yeah.
That's great. And tell me, Nek, you've been a childcare operator for some time. What are some of the things, how do you go from good to great as a childcare operator?
So we only recently got accredited by the government, and you get accredited every 4 years, every childcare centre. And it's pretty strict guidelines that they you've got to adhere to.
And the auditing process is quite strict. What are some of the things that they look out for that are pretty important from the government's perspective?
Everything from safety to the program, kitchen, cooking, cleanliness, everything. Yeah.
Right.
And we were accredited as exceeding, and there's not many childcare centres that have that accreditation level.
Exceeded the minimum standards.
Correct. And so both of our centres got given an exceeding. If you're a freehold investor, then you would want to look at things like the occupancy of the business tenants.
So if you're an investor in childcare centres, you want to look at the business itself and to see the places, whether they're all filled or whether there's vacancies. No different to a hotel, right?
Correct, because it's become pretty competitive now. There's a lot of childcare centres that have opened up. Now you need to look at your tenant and make sure he's a viable business. And what you'd look at as a really simple way of seeing how good they are would be their occupancy rate.
Right, and why do you think so many childcare centres have opened up recently? Is it easier to are the barriers of entry easier, or have they become more profitable, or what are the main things, do you think?
The entry or development of childcare centres is very simple. There's no restrictions from council, there's no roadblocks there, and the investment is very good if it's successful.
Right, excellent. Yeah. Excellent. Hopefully we can hear you from all the banging in the background, so kids are loving it.
Fun, which is important.
That's good, thanks. Okay, Nick, thanks for showing us around. So in terms of childcare centres, what would be the average, how many kids would an average childcare centre across Victoria hold on average?
On average between 60 and 80.
60 and 80.
The larger scale ones are at 120 plus.
Right, and yours
and the
here
lower
is...
end are at 45.
45, and yours here is nearly
148.
Double. Yeah, almost double the average, right? So Nick, you guys are owners, but if I'm an investor and I've got sort of under $10 million or $20 million or $5 million and I want to spend that in a childcare centre or multiple childcare centres, what are the, from a tenant's perspective, what are you noticing in terms of occupancy costs? What are they demanding, or what are they preferring at the moment?
Yeah, so the rent returns are very good in childcare, and they can vary in the large scale centres from 500,000 to 800,000.
How does that relate from a percentage perspective?
Around
so from 5 to 8?
Yeah, the really good centres around the 4.8.
4.8, as low as 4.8?
Yeah, and up to 6% return.
Right. So let's say 4.5 to 6.5
Correct.
would be a reasonable range.
Correct.
And in terms from the tenant's perspective, obviously the landlord or the investor wants to see that revenue grow, but what are the tenants saying? How are they seeing the world?
Yeah, I think it's, from a tenant's perspective, fixed increases in today's day and age, because inflation's pretty volatile and a little bit higher than normal.
So they want the security, the rent not blowing out.
Correct, around the 3 to 4% fixed rises is probably more appropriate from a tenant's perspective.
So 3 to 4% rental increases, do you think that's sustainable for a good operator over a period of time?
No problems. No. In the west, you've got a lot of greenfield sites, and here where we are located in Doncaster and Bulleen,
they're all infill, aren't they?
And land's a lot more expensive. So the return for developers, if they were looking for an investment, the risk is a little bit higher. The fees from a tenant's perspective, from a business, are a lot higher compared to the outer suburbs. So you need to have a business that's successful to make the investment worthwhile in a city.
So is it important to have a childcare centre that holds more kids, therefore, to make it work, to make the numbers work?
The higher the numbers, with higher fees, gives you a lot more comfort in your formula, definitely.
Yeah, excellent. And I think you mentioned that, privately that, well, it's not private anymore, but your capacity is nearly 100%.
Yeah, we're fortunate. We're at 100%. So a large scale centre, 148 kids with fees at a reasonably higher rate than normal, is probably equivalent to 10 average childcare centre businesses.
And your capacity is 100%, even though there are more and more childcare centres, especially around here, opening up.
Correct. So then it comes down to quality. If you're a parent and you've got a variety to choose from, then the quality centres will be doing a lot better than the not so quality. And that's why accreditation is important. We've been accredited as exceeding for both of our centres in recent months. So as a parent, you come in, you know this centre's exceeding, you have the comfort of putting your child in. They're doing the right things. The regulations and the accreditation is very stringent from the government. So when a parent looks at the accreditation status, it's very important. If you're an investor from a freehold perspective, and you're looking at investing in freehold, you always look at the tenant because he's going to be paying your rent. So you want to know the tenant is doing a good job, he's got high occupancy rates, and that'll give you more comfort, especially in today's world. There are a lot of centres now, and some aren't doing as well as others, and they might be struggling to pay your rent moving forward.
Right. So Nek, you've also invested personally, so you walk the walk, you don't just talk the walk. You've invested in other childcare centres other than this one here in Doncaster. What are some of the negatives and the positives that you've discovered in your time investing in childcare centres?
I've been pretty fortunate. I've only had positives investing in freehold in childcare. And a good example was during COVID. It was probably one of the few businesses that were backed by the government during those tough times, and as a landlord you still received your rent because the tenants were still operating, whereas a lot of other businesses, as a freehold owner, you couldn't get your rent. So yeah, through the toughest times we've seen childcare investment hold up as a business and as a freehold owner as well.
Excellent.
And it's moving forward, that gives you confidence if
it happens again.
If it happens again.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And Nek, look, we met through soccer.
Correct.
And we both loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Coaching your boys.
Yeah, coach my boy.
Coaching,
tried to turn him into a forward.
Yeah, coaching young kids at the soccer is just like watching the young kids grow up in childcare.
Actually, what are some of the things that are similar that you're finding between the kids are sort of a lot older?
I'll tell you what, you do find between the two environments. The parents are more demanding
in soccer.
in both areas. Definitely, society has changed in the last 17 years we've been in childcare, and we've noticed parents are more demanding and very protective over their children.
What's causing that, do you think?
It's technology, possibly.
Technology. And finally, Nek, leave on a good note. What team do you follow in the EPL?
I don't have a specific team. I follow coaches, and Ange Postecoglou is coaching Tottenham, so I'm a
All right. Tell us about the mural. Just give us a quick one about the mural and how that came about.
The mural happened.
Where's the mural for some of the viewers that don't know?
He's at a club called Nunawading, which I helped build up amongst a few other friends 17 years ago as well, and. Yeah, we noticed Ange was ahead of his time at the time, so we thought we would do a mural at the time, and the successful coaches at the time were Cruyff and Pep Guardiola, and so we did a mural adding Ange to the other two coaches in anticipation Ange was going to be just as good as them one day.
And what was the reaction, generally speaking? Did most of
people take it well? We were mad. I was mad.
Yeah, maybe drinking the Kool-Aid.
That's right. I thought I wasn't well. Got a lot of backlash.
You did put rinse through your hair back then.
Correct.
They probably thought the rinse had a bit of an effect.
Yeah, correct. So they came for me, but 5, 6, 7 years later. I have a lot of visitors from Scotland when Ange was at Celtic and he got the treble there, and once he joined Tottenham, and there's people from Japan when he won the title there that always want to come to visit it when they're in Melbourne, and they're saying that the murals come alive, and how we knew prior to.
And is it going to get a touch up soon, or it's still?
No, I think we leave it the way it is.
Okay.
It does come alive apparently in the evenings.
Does it?
Yeah,
The eyes
midnight.
move?
The eyes
Yeah,
start
the
to
eyes
move. Yeah, correct.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for your time.
No, thanks.